again to be making money with Morpheus in pocket option. Or actually kind of started learning how to make money with Morpheus and in pocket option. Today, my dear friends, welcome back to our video. To new viewers, to the ones that are with me still, chats are open. My go-to boys, Henry, here he is, and Donald are in the house. They're always in the house. They're making good money with me. These guys are contacting me in Telegram channel, which is posted below. You can talk to me directly about anything that deals with making money work for you. Alright, so keep always saying that this is not like a trick. We're not selling here a particular repetitive pattern that's something that somehow it's always going to work. It isn't going to work because market is not this. It's always going to be slightly different, and so you need to learn how to analyze the market, derive out of this a higher or lower probability of success, and take kind of according actions, appropriate actions to this situation. This is what is going to be happening today as well. We're going to talk about another technical analysis indicator. And actually, you know what? Yeah, I was looking at the fundamentals. Yesterday, you and I made some good money when we talk about essentially about an hour and a half worth of data, or an hour and a half worth of understanding that the market will be moved. I don't know if it's still here. Yeah, there it is, right? We won. We had this pitiful percentage on Euro CHF. We won approximately $200 here, 200, 70, 50, so around 350 plus minus dollars in about an hour and a half. I think that's pretty freaking good day. And actually, I did tell you to take a look at 445 flash manufacturing PMIs and services PMIs with United States. So actually, wait a second. I don't know if anybody made money on this. Let me know, right? So it was on Thursday. It was at wait a second. Yesterday was 24th. Yeah, so 4:45. There it is. Just like in Europe, it was mixed news, right? For services, it was an improvement. It was actually good improvement. Right, so previous month was 52.9. They expected a slight increase, came out at 55.2. That's pretty darn good. And completely the opposite on the manufacturing, right? So 52.9, 52.7 was a little bit lower, and the amount of 49.5. So I would say that, the fact is that I haven't looked at this euro dollar, right? Let's take a look yesterday. 5 o'clock in the morning. There we go. And this was at 4:45. So, they're right here. Wow, that doesn't look any at all impressive on any level, actually, right? Wait a second. Let's take a look. So the highest point was 1765. The lowest point, 1756. Wow, 9 pips. Yeah, that's actually kind of sad. Though we did notice that the usual performance of the PMIs was significantly reduced in France, in Germany. The French was like 3 pips, Germany was 4 pips. We did the Eurozone in its entirety, and it was also like 3 pips or something, but there was, like actually kind of good statistic. The biggest one was the GBP PMIs, which were also kind of like 5 pips or something like that. It was really small. So, yeah, unusual. That's why I always say there's never such a thing as 100% guarantee. So you have to, keep to the proper kind of money management, right? Even if something is statistically, historically consistent, it still doesn't mean that there's going to be exactly the same thing. So you can't bet the farm, go a la banque, or whatever, however it says. So anyways, we got, all right, so what do we usually do is we, kind of close out a whole bunch of BS. There we go. And today we're going to be looking at Vortex indicator. It's one of the easiest indicators in my opinion. Can't possibly get any easier than that to get signals out of that. We're going to do a little technical trading today, giving a bit more weight to the signals that are coming from Vortex. All right. So, anyways, but before we go, because it is Friday and you guys are super busy, now I want to, I don't want to brag or anything, but 100% success rate, baby. We always make money. You and I, we make money every single macro statistic, right? So now for the past, we're like 2 months now, right? 2 months worth of macro statistics. You can take a look at the previous videos that are in the playlist. 2 months worth of macros. I bet you there's like 40, I don't know, maybe 40 videos altogether in the channel on Twitch, on YouTube, where you guys will see that we got 100% success rate. Right, so that's not something that I expect. By the way, something that it is kind of like I'm due for a market goof where I'm gonna maybe I'm gonna lose a little bit. So it's about time. But nevertheless, 2 months worth of this stratospheric freaking success rate, and as I mentioned, for July we had a goofy situation, and it's kind of a maybe a kind of weird thing to say, but America influences a lot of currencies, including their holidays, right? So because Americans had 4th of July on Friday, the NFP was shifted, the CPI was shifted, which is usually NFP is on first Friday of the month, and the CPI is usually on the Wednesday after. The core retail sales is on the week after, I believe also is on Wednesdays. So there's the PMI somewhere in the middle, but basically because of the holiday and everything got shifted, this month was a little bit, I don't know, awkward to say the least. So because that is the case, all right, so we're coming to an end. Today's the 25th. Next week we're gonna have, all right, so what are we gonna have? We're gonna have Australian CPI. Anybody's on the kind of like the east, the land of the rising sun. On that side, in Asia, you might want to take advantage of it because CPIs are volatile, so there should be a spike followed by a decent retracement. Consumer confidence. Remember, I told you that this is actually marked as high impact event, a high impact statistic, but it's not, right? So at some point, this was for years, it was in red, and then finally, Forex Factory, downgraded it to medium impact because it is a survey. It's an opinion. It's an opinion that's quantified in terms of a particular statistic math-wise, but it's a statistic of 3,000 households, right? So maybe like maximum 15,000 people at that, like super, super stretching the truth here. So let's say 15,000 people's opinion in a population of 380 million plus. All right, so it's a really tiny statistic. That's why it's not going to be important enough. But I do want to once again, one second. Let's clarify what we're going to be taking advantage of next week. All right, so we got so the end of this month, right? So we got there we go. So today we're talking about Vortex. Then on Monday and Tuesday we're going to talk about some different indicators, alligator and awesome oscillator. Though on the 30th, right, we're going to be taking advantage of the culmination. Oh, there's like lots of interest rate decisions, right? We're talking about this is going to be at 2050. We're going to actually, take advantage of the United States federal funds rates, but a little bit sooner than that at 4:45. So you and I are going to be talking like much later than usual. But at 4:45, there's going to be Canadian interest rates released as well. So certainly something that you want to take advantage of. Okay, and on Thursday at 1600, we're going to talk about employment cost index. What? At 4 o'clock. Employment cost. No, it's not at 4 o'clock. It's 3:30 now. All right, so yeah, we're going to talk about the employment cost index for United States. Any employment statistic is actually really important. So unemployment claims, employment cost index. We're going to see if this is going to move the market. Yeah, so that's it. And most popular macro of all is going to be the NFP. Yeah, baby. So yeah, on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're gonna do macros, and this is something that I encourage every single one of you to notice because, as I mentioned, it's hard to beat 100% success rate. So this is what it's going to be for next week, my dear friends. First Friday of the month, right? It's Friday, August 1st, and obviously there's going to be non-farm, which actually makes me kind of curious. One second, bear with me. I want to see the first week of August, right? So we got Friday, all right, and on Wednesday, nope, we still got CPI being pushed to the following week again, right? Which is unusual. They keep doing that. Alright, so August, where's CPI? Core CPI, there it is, right? United States core CPI. Notice it's not with Canadian CPI. That's actually something that makes me very happy because, well, we're going to be able to take advantage of United States CPI and Canadian CPI probably on the following week or whenever it is going to be released. So, having said that, right, we did mention a little bit about what we're going to be expecting next week, some technical analysis, some more indicators. If anybody hops in right now to kind of come across this stream, if you guys have any, thoughts about certain indicators, and you want to talk about them in greater detail, perhaps, drop me a comment. Let's make this, drop a comment right now live in chat, and let's have a dialogue instead of a monologue. Um, and yeah, would love to clarify all of these things. So, what we usually do, right, with regards to Vortex, all right, we got to sell, we got to buy signal from three indicators. We got parabolic, we got, shaft, we got MACD. Vortex, though, it's not chipping in here. We do have a relatively interesting, actually, yeah, euro dollar, it is 92%, so it's worth our attention. Now look at this sexy, sexy, sexy resistance level. So which makes me kind of think that, man, if this actually breaks out right now, like shaft, like MACD, like parabolic are saying, it could go up. Where can it go, my dear friends? We've been doing this long enough. It should be bouncing off your teeth. First level of interest would be somewhere here, right? So the previous time when the asset had difficulty breaking through, and see, there we go. We got buy signals across the board, but this sucker is retracing. All right, so something worth keeping an eye on. Plus, the other thing, I kind of had a feeling that this would be doing that. Plus, we have, this kind of situation here. We got one, we got two. This kind of stretches the truth to say that this is three. I would say that this is entire kind of thing where it stretched this sideways movement as a second point contact. We got a third point contact right now. So we do have a long-term downtrend. This is kind of like the sexy, the more I look at it, the more I like it. All right, so we got a vortex. Vortex is an interesting indicator. As I mentioned, it gives signals. It couldn't be easier. Here's a sell signal. Here's a buy signal. Here's a sell signal. Here's a buy signal. Right. So essentially, it couldn't be easier to understand. So we are going to take, but Vortex does do this thing where it kind of starts to close in and then continues right on its own, on its own thing. So we got a buy signal here, on this candle, and well, yeah, there is a situational kind of thing where the market will do. Remember, I told you it's like driver's ed, right? It's like rules of the road. It doesn't mean that everybody follows them. All right, but we do have. All right, let's take a position. Oh, sugar nanny. Aye, not a good situation. Aye, okay. Let's go back to. Remember, I always keep telling you guys that majority of times when I'm going to screw up, it's not really because of a signal. It's probably going to be because of a execution, right? So I wanted to open for 200, for $2. Maybe I was still in yesterday's kind of situation. So right now, I mean, there is a really high chance that I'm going to lose $200, right? And which is also not really bad. It just means we're going to need to do a little bit more aggressive trading. Never, ever, ever, never have I ever played this game. No. Yeah, this kind of thing happens once in a while, but I always say, man, really, really be vigilant about what you're doing. It's just that it's part of my personality when I'm talking and I'm looking all over the place that I could make a judgment error. So, yeah, we won this one because we did open it according to a signal. What kind of signal, Alex? Well, we had a 1, a 2, kind of stretching the truth a little bit, third point contact. On the fourth one, it broke through. We got confirmation from parabolic. We got confirmation from shaft. We got on this candle, we got a little bit early signal to sell with um, MACD. It crosses cross the zero line. There it is right here. So, yeah, so right now I would actually say that this is no longer valid, but I do have a particular inkling thinking that this might be that point where it kind of goes back in, maybe, comes back. So we'll see really what it does. So 1, 2, 3, almost. Right here it did its own thing and broke through. So will it continue to go any further? We got other indicators to say that, volatility with ATR, I would say it's on it's on the low side. The candles are not going to be massive. All right, so let's get rid of that. And ADX, I usually, kind of change the style so that it's a little bit more clear as to what line is what. All right, I usually do something like this. Save, and now we understand that ADX is climbing, right? The white line is the ADX line. We got our sell signal on here with the ADX because negative DI, directional movement index, is going upwards. We got Vortex going up. Actually, no, wait a second. Yesterday we talked about momentum. Let's see. Momentum also, yeah, the bars are increasing in size, right? So it did cross the zero line right here. Across the zero line, and not ideal. I mean, this would be like freaking gorgeous right here, like and increasing. Keep buying. ADX is rising above 20%. We got a buy signal from Vortex right here. We got a buy signal slightly sooner from ADX. Same thing with with the shaft and parabolic. You see, I mean, this looks scary to some people. But you know what? Individualized, each one of these indicators provides very, very kind of clear-cut signals. So if we're looking for a situational, or this is where I always say people are like, well, do you have like a winning strategy? I'm like, yeah, man, but listen, it has to be, if you're waiting for this parabolic, shaft, MACD, vortex, ADX, momentum to all show you a good entry point, you're going to be in front of computer for a long time to get few signals, right? Right here, for example, we did have a sell signal from fractal. Parabolic was up here already for a while, but we got fractal, we got shaft, we got MACD. Vortex came in a little bit later on the following candle, perhaps. But ADX, right? Wait a second. Momentum was also building for a downward movement, right? Each bar was getting bigger. But ADX is showing that the ADX was declining from, around here it was already around 21%, but it was declining for a while, which means that the kind of like the inertia of this move is played out. You're not going to be expecting to see a 15-20 minute, movement with this kind of scenario. So, if we took one right here for a buy, right, we would have been in the money. Then, but this was what, at like 15:04, and here at 15:20, so about 20, almost 20 minutes later was the next good signal, right? So two signals in 20 minutes. Next signal we got from shaft, from parabolic, and MACD, and maybe momentum. Right about here, maybe that was a good idea to open, but we see that once again the volatility is low. Vortex said that it's a good time to buy about here on this candle, right? And yeah, you would have been in the money, but nevertheless, we kind of noticed that it's not something that's long term. Right, so even if you were looking to buy in the middle of, like 1, 2, possibly third, 1, 2, possibly third. Actually, yeah, wait a second. This is a resistance level that is very much confirmed. 1, 2, 3. right? We got 4, 5, 6. Man, I can't wait to see when it breaks through finally. Because that's going to be, that's the potential where it's going to go, first of all, now up to this level. Then we're going to see, or maybe like around here. Then a little bit higher, about here. Alright, but it does have potential to go all the way up to the highest point for the day, which, is, incidentally matches 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on points. So if it does break, it does have potential to go up to here. And if it does in like 2, 3, 4 pips, we can ride the lightning and in about freaking 15, 20 minutes make our 10, 20% off, daily target, the daily goal. All right, so having said that, all right, as I keep mentioning, if we're going to be looking for these ideal moments, right, parabolic, shaft, MACD, and vortex gave you a good sell signal. We had just slightly earlier, right? We had the kind of movement of the bars and the momentum, something that we did earlier. But look, the bars aren't really getting bigger either, right? So there's no momentum, right? ADX, I think, also kind of the inertia. There's, kind of, it's like a train. You start moving, it takes a while to slow down, right? So the inertia, but the momentum, right? Also kind of, physics, maybe, whatever. But it also says that even right here, right, it's been at a pitiful low 13%. I mean, there's absolutely no guarantee that there's going to be a long-term downward trend, right? So if you open the position, you're like, oh, I'm going to open for every single candle for the next 5, 10 minutes. You're like, no, don't expect that. I mean, it could happen, of course, but don't expect that because right now the indicators, that we see right there, are not really, showing that. So opening position here, and this was at 15:58, also about 20 minutes, right? So, but we have like 3 or what do we got? Like 1, 2, yeah, actually, yeah, I was at 3, every time shaft moved, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. What do we got here? Here we have a buy, but we understand. There it is. There's a false signal. All right. ADX is pitifully low. You can say, wow, there's no momentum. At the time when it touched this particular level on this candle, right? There's the buy signal from shaft. All right, and we understand that, look, does it have momentum, inertia to continue to break through a resistance level that's already well established with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 point contact, right? On the 6 point, if it had, right, because there was a buy signal, but everything else, right, it didn't really show, right? I mean, yeah, there was a break of the 0 line, but immediately came back down. So this is where you would have been like, yeah, I'll open the first step of martingale with like, if you have $100 balance with $1. Right here, for example, in this case, right, you're like, well, you've been going down for a while. By the way, wait a second. We could theoretically also create a small resistance level right here. Look at that, right? We got 1, we got 2, we got 3, and on the 4th one, it's breaking. Beautiful, as would say the Jim Carrey character in Bruce Almighty, right? All right, so beautiful. We had the downward momentum, right? So from here for about like 20 minutes it's been going down. But we see the momentum indicator saying that, hey, it's losing across the 0 line. There it is on this candle. And we have a confirmation between MACD, also a bunch of, green bars saying that, hey, it's, building its thing, building its, inertia. It's crossing the 0 line, right? We got a breakout at this point, and we had the first candle, the second candle starting to move after the breakout. We had parabolic, we had shaft, we had the vortex, but in this case also we had a lowering, right? The negative and positive DIs crossed. But the ADX itself is kind of like around 20%. So here it leveled off and, also once again gave us continuous thing that bars are rising, right? Vortex is also rising. This is also a part of the factor of this indicator that it tells you that, if it's rising continuously, that there's enough oomph. We had the lines crossing the 0 line in histogram, right? That's also a signal in itself that it's a good idea. So right here, I mean, I would have been buying every single candle. Second step, martingale in the money. Here I probably, here I would have lost. Here I would have lost, and here I probably, probably would have waited because now at this candle we're already starting to see, so red, green, red, and another red, right? On this already on the top candle, we're already seeing the third bar, third red. We're looking at momentum that the bullish tendency seems to be dwindling, right? And look, I mean, we got the decreasing bars. This is the highest bar on the red candle, right? And then on the green candle, we got a lower one. On the other green candle, we got even lower ones. So once again, this tells us the market, while it's moving, that's why these formulas are so important. When somebody tells me, Morpheus, I don't trade with indicators, I'm like, holy crap, you're gambling then. You're not really trading then, because this is an important information. It calculates the previous patterns with the quotes that are coming in right now, and it gives you constant updates. And so when we say that, hey, right here, how long can it go? Well, we look at other levels of interest, right? So here it closed at, this point. So I don't know, I would say that at this point right here, I would have been already kind of cautious, right? To see, look at other indicators. Yes, bars are growing, lines are growing, they're separating further apart. And at about this candle, right about here, all right, we see that ADX started to climb. We got bars on momentums, climbing still. Well, there was a bit of a dip here, right? And so, yeah, I would have maybe waited for the following candle, but I would have continued to buy because all of the signals show that it's a good idea, including the fact that right here, the signal line and the MACD line cross the zero line. So parabolics on the bottom, you keep buying. There's big space between the asset and the parabolic, also an indicator of a healthy trend. And yeah, I would have kept buying. When it reached this point, once again, remember I always say, look at the previous points of resistance. And when it reached this point, I already see a red bar here, a red bar here, momentum, the green bars are declining, and that's it. That is a signal in itself. We already see the positive DI at this point, peaking and then retracing, right, kind of going sideways and going down. So in accumulation, right, we could have had earlier understanding. Not here before parabolic switched or something, but here we had an understanding that, hey, it's a serious level of resistance. We had it here, we had it here, we had it here, and it did have a very long, nice climb to this level again. What is the probability that it has enough oomph to continue to break through? Right, and we had other indicators like momentum that it's losing, like MACD that it's losing, well, ADX at this point still said that it was relatively high at 29%, but the negative DI already started to decline. So very shortly after, right around here, we could have understood. So 3 candles perhaps worth of unnecessary positions, or something that where you'd say, hey, you know what, let me just be patient, right? So do not be rushing, do not be in a rush. All right, so there we go. I mean, that's kind of like what I wanted to show you. All right, let's see. We're going to be continuing with. All right, look, Vortex. Okay, wait a second. Let's get out of momentum and let's get out of. I kind of like my ADX and MACD. All right, so check it out. Right, we have kind of like a false breakout here. Right, we got 1, we got 2. It came out, came back in. But this is a false break, traditional, kind of like more standard false breakout. On one candle, that closes on the outside, but on the other one, comes back in. So I would say that it's, I also showed you guys that you are able to make a parallel channel and give it like a few pips worth of, difference, kind of like this. And then we still kind of understand that, hey, no, it's pretty good, right? Let's delete this one. Oh, crap. All right, hold on. Deleted the wrong thing. All right, there we go. All right, so this is what I do encourage as well, to understand that, give market enough flexibility to adjust for some of the fluctuations, right? So right now we gotta sell, we gotta sell. Vortex, okay, so we gotta sell here, right? With ADX, it's starting to rise. It's at a pitiful low, right? It was like at 14%. Now it's at like 15%. So there, it does have kind of the oomph, the gusto to continue. And all right, let's take a position. I wouldn't actually, if it was me trading by myself, I'd probably, there we go. Okay, so Vortex is. But see, Vortex is saying that it's going to be crossing and going upwards, right? So we got, kind of clear cut. Now, when the green line crosses the red from bottom up, we got a bullish move. When the other thing, happens, we got a negative move, right? If the red is on top, we got red should be continuing, but it was almost crossing. We got, this kind of thing, a touch and bounce away with the ADX. It seems like it's rising a little bit, but it's certainly not in any position to tell us that this is a trend. All right, trend starts from 20. So this is where I do like the idea trend is your friend, right? There's no trend here, right? There was a sell signal, there was a sell signal, there was a sell signal, there was a bunch of red candles. But they're kind of small. Would I continue to sell? Probably not. As I mentioned, not until I see this kind of rising, maybe above, kind of a little bit higher. And as I mentioned, it keeps dropping, right? So there we go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got like a really good resistance level here as well. Let's check it out, right? So maybe not from that point, not from the highest point, but maybe from this point. There it is. Right, so here, when it broke through, it kind of did the more aggressive drop, and it the buy signal here. But we also could have had another understanding that at this point right here on this biggest candle was also a decent entry point based on, look, we got crossing of the vortex a little bit here. So it does play around, it does pay to play with the time and, with the zoom to see where there are the, other points of interest. All right, so there we go. Again, right, it did lower a bit, and I would actually start to think that maybe from this perspective, it's a little bit, better. Right, so we do have a very, very sexy, very clean cut. Man, this is beautiful. I'd take this, home to meet my wife. This resistance level right here, we got an early signal from Fractal that says, hey, maybe we should be on this candle, we should be considering a buy. We got MACD. I would wait until the end of this candle to to see what we're going to get. But it looks like, yeah, we got crossing, crossing happening right now in MACD. We got crossing about to happen in ADX. Vortex is still not showing any kind of activity, but it seems like there's a good situation happening right now in euro dollar. That's why, I'm not hopping over to a different currency. And you know what? Let the hell. Well, let's buy it. Let's open a position. The thing is that, yes, very close. I mean, it could be touching and bouncing back again. There's absolutely, ADX dropped even lower. Holy crap. There is no momentum. My friends, this is where I'm saying, please keep an eye out on your indicators because, yeah, it could breach this. We're probably going to end up in the money, but it has absolutely zero wind behind this move. Right, and we could actually have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and an 8th point contact and a reversal. All right, so this is why I wouldn't be, if it was just me sitting here with my smooth jazz or techno trance and my cup of coffee, yeah, I would not have opened this one just based on this situation right here. ADX was one of my, I can't live without kind of indicators when I started trading, but nevertheless, let's continue. See what happens. All right, I should have entered much sooner. At the start of this candle, it looks like we're probably going to lose this one as well if things look the way they are again. Yeah, so it looks like we got the 8th point contact, which means that I'm actually super excited when it's going to break. And if we just elongate this, extend this a little bit further, 1, 2, 3, 4 point contact, we got a pinching factor right here, and I can't wait Um, can't wait for. I'm gonna buy again. Oh, wait. Again, there we go. I'm gonna buy right here for one more time. We got Shaft. And Shaft did kind of dip under and touched right here, saying that it should be going up. We got well, see, ADX right there, or I'm sorry, ADX. MACD does this kind of one, tiny thing. So, see, this is the kind of stuff that I like, the pluming, right? When you see this, the movements that are actually big, but here it's technically going sideways, right? Yes, this was a high, this was a lower high, this is a lower high still, but technically it's kind of still being squeezed. And yeah, so let's wait until more things. So it does keep saying buy. We got zero inertia. We keep getting this mushed line spaghetti. um Kind of don't want to, but I kind of think that we're still should be going upwards to test the top period. There we go. We got a fractal says that it's going to go down again. Maybe it is going to touch base, a bit lower. And so we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, and here's the fifth point. Also, not a bad situation to be part of, right? Because if it's going to go down, it could go down for a while. And the longer this happens, right, the longer this mushiness pancake thing going here, the higher the probability that afterwards there is a relatively decent upward perhaps more, or any kind of movement downward with enough oomph to take advantage of it. That's why we're going to wait a little bit more to get a few signals aligned with regards to the move. All right, we still got 92%, so we're still good. And actually, yeah, because of my goofy or kind of a mistake with regards to entry point of the first position, where we did do it based on signals and everything like that, we're well ahead in the game for today in terms of profit. It's still we're still opened according to a signal. That's the important thing to understand. And again, wait a second, we're being spammed again in Twitch. Um, there we go. So we're gonna get that. Yeah, we're gonna get that down. Oh, okay, there we go. We removed it already. So yeah, if you guys want to, talk about these things a little bit more, in greater detail, do reach out in chat. Do reach out in Telegram chat. We're, always going to be very, very happy to clarify any thoughts that you might have. Because once again, your situation is different. Your demands from these instruments are different. There is no one thing. That's why, one of the things that I kind of keep saying. All right, what's going on here? Why did I open a position for a sell? We had a parabolic. We have a breakout, technically. We got a crossing. We got bars increasing. We got separation of the vortex. The negative DI is rising. And at this candle somewhere here, I opened this position, right? We have ADX starting to rise. It's still not at the position where I would be like, oh, 20%, go. But, even though we lost 3 positions, actually, let me open my sheet right here. And anybody who wants this sheet, I'm going to give it to you for free. It's an active formula here, and, that you're able to immediately understand what was at risk, right? So on the 4th position, if we would have lost, we would have lost $31, but it seems like we lost only $12.50, right? So 2.5, yeah, 12.50, 2.5 plus 7 is 12.50, but we won 17.25, so we're still in good profit. So not ideal statistic. Technically, we had what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades. So we had 50-50, 6 trades, 50-50, and we are well into profit. So even if we don't include this, if we say that this is only $2, we got so essentially $1.84, $1.84. Yeah, $4 here plus $5, $5 here. So about $10, and we have been trading for 40 minutes, right? And mostly not really trading even, but because we're still sticking in one with one currency pair. And this is kind of like also an important thing. What we usually do, right? If anybody kind of joins us for the first time, what we usually do, we'll scan what the heck is going on. Well, we'll take a whole bunch of 92% OTCs, and we go NGN versus USD OTC. All right, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? We got. I would say we got nothing here because look, the market is going sideways pretty much. It's ranging right here. This is actually where Vortex does to give a little bit, gets a bit of an advantage in its signal giving, but it's also mushed. Right, so there was a buy signal right here, which conflicts with parabolic, which parabolic signal says down, and if we kind of take a look, it seems like it marginally, but it does keep dropping, establishing new lower highs. But at the same time, at this point right here, we got higher lows. Right, so it's kind of like a squeezing pattern, mini pattern right here. Once it popped, it went up to a, see, there's a buy signal from shaft right here and parabolic, but it went up by whopping, Jesus, I don't even know, 0031. What is an NGN? I'm kind of having a brain fart. 0031 to 0031. It is like with a pipette difference. But everything else is mushed, and we got ADX that's falling. We got nothing. I mean, here I wouldn't be trading here. All right, the crazy dollar, mad USD. All right, what do we got here? We got maybe a bit of a weird channel, not really precise. Let's say, we could say something that there was a resistance right here, right? There it is. Actually, yeah, there is a channel. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 1, 2, 3, and it's breaking through right now. Vortex said, keep saying, but sell right here. ADX is rising. Yeah, hell yeah. But again, if we take a look at like some indicator like ATR, we see that the volatility is like pitifully low, which means the candles are going to be super tiny. Do you want to win a position by a pipette or by like a point of a, or like a 1 pip? I don't know. Me, I kind of like when there's a little bit more trends. Right? So we got, let's see, shaft right here has crazy amount of signals, right? We got 1 for sell. Here we would have lost. For buy, here we probably, I don't know. I think that depends, how soon you would have gotten at this candle. I would say 50-50. Here, right here for a sell. Again, a loss. Wow. Here for a buy. And again, I would say 50-50. Well, no, that's a sucky situation. The crazy dollar today is not really impressing us. All right, GBP USD. All right, wow. Really wish I was part of this super long negative right, resistance. Look at that. 1, 2, kind of almost 3, 4, 5. I would say almost, right? 6, 7, 8, and finally it broke through right here. But again, look at the ADX. Yes, it broke through, and but here, if you take a closer look, right, it's breaking out here, and you understand that for like 15 minutes it couldn't break this level, and it went whoop into one thing, and it's like, yeah, is it gonna go up higher, or where is it gonna go next? Probably up to this level if it finds enough gusto. But it seems like, so here it kind of bounced back, yes, but I don't know. Again, it's going sideways. It's ranging a little bit, right? We could put a mini parallel channel right here. All right, a very, very small one. But wait, bear with me. There it is. It's ranging. It's not really doing anything extensive. So I wouldn't be buying here. There's absolutely no, it's dropping still. It's going to drop below 20%. And at that point, we understand there's absolutely no momentum. However, while it's ranging, it also gives us a good understanding that once it breaks out of this range, there could be a very good situation where we see, a move with an oomph. right? Move with enough gusto. All right, these are the kind of things that I like. I like big, long, wavy. All right, let's see. We got like a cell signal right here from Shaft. A little bit earlier, we had a cell signal from MACD. Hold on, who's? Oh, my watch tells me to get my butt up and do some exercising. All right, we got 18%. It keeps rising. It keeps rising right now. A little bit more, I guess. Okay, but we do have a green bar on the MACD. We got Vortex showing that it could be reaching a point of a bounce back. All right, so this could be our second point contact, and this could be that, well, very, very stretching the truth. This is too quickly to be like a really decent established level of resistance. If you take into consideration, right, building a skyscraper out of mud bricks, it's a brick, right? It's got certain solidity to it. It's got, you can build a mud hut, which is, actually some of these, like in Afghanistan, I saw they were very, very good, renovated on the inside, to the point where you wouldn't even be able to tell that you're in a, kind of a clay building. But nevertheless, you wouldn't be able to build a skyscraper this. You need something a little more like a very, very big multi-apartment kind of complex, or multi-story apartment complex, perhaps, or office building. So at that point, you need to understand that when we have itchy nose, when we have a like a long one over the course of like a couple of hours, right? We got a drop, we got a drop, we got a drop over the course of like, I don't know, 2 hours or so. Man, that's a great one. Well, when we have this in a matter of like, half an hour, 1, 2, 3, yeah, it's valid. It's valid. There we go. We got a buy signal. This is so valid that, yeah, I'm gonna open the position. Oh wait, there we go. And damn it. Again, not the right kind of freaking entry point. It just wiped out our entire profit if I'm going to lose this position. Can I lose? Yeah, I can, because we entered a little bit late. But anyways, we got to buy. You know what? No, screw it. I'm going to go for the second step martingale. If we lose on this one, we're going to bump it up. All right, so we got a, green bars on the MACD. We got a buy signal from Shaft. We got a parabolic. We got a fractal. So, yeah, the signal is good, right? And it seems like, but we don't know if it's going to touch and bounce back, or if it's going to touch and break through and continue, right? So, again, the execution was shitty. The signal was good. All right, so if it's $20, let's just go to, $30, right? Let's go to $30 after this. To see it. So we might win by the skin of our teeth. Yeah, we did. But, again, I'm not really counting this. This was a crappy thing. All right, so again, let's switch it to $2 right now before I do some craziness. All right, so buy from Shaft. Buy. It seems like it's on the verge of a buy signal from MACD. Vortex is closing, which means that, yeah, there is a higher chance that it's going to, kind of additional weight to the upward movement. We have parabolic, that's, still on the bottom. Let's shift our time frame. We do notice that ADX is dropping, right? There's no momentum to this, and this makes me a little bit concerned. Right, so because we also can, kind of adjust this a little bit. This is not an exact science. You could say that, yeah, it is a point of bounce back, right? 1, 2, 3, and it's bouncing back. So, but if it does bounce back and touches this level, we're going to have a, besides a confirmed resistance level, we're going to have a confirmed support level. Right now, it's still not confirmed, right? So this way, we're not going to highlight it at the moment, but there we go. So the ADX is dropping. We still got buy signals kind of in the works from ADX. We had one from Shaft. Vortex is also still not showing. It's getting there, but it's still not showing a good time. All right, wait a second. All right, do we? There we go. And let's, I don't know, now, see, now I'm okay with taking a position for $2. If I lose $2, if I lose $3 on top of that, that's not a big deal. That's nothing. while I'm waiting for confirmation. See, ADX disappeared. Oh, wait, crap. MACD disappeared. I mean, do you see a bar here? I don't see it. It looks like it is crossing the zero line, but with such a weak, inertia that I wouldn't trust it for long. All right, we got two. We got our two. So, again, I feel like I'm being pressured by the stream to, wait a second. Okay, I'm actually just noticed something in Twitch. Emma Thompson cooked up some fresh stream design. You down to peep? It seems like you're spamming. Alright, yeah, I know it isn't like a bot, but I'm not a bot. Alright, wait a second. Let me reach out to my team. I don't even know what the heck this is. uh, Alright, and yeah, we're kind of coming to our close. Alright, see, on this guy we had a fractal saying that it's going to be selling, but alright, a crossing of the vortex, and I told you guys that we're going to be giving a little bit more credence to the cross, though I think that we should have entered a little bit sooner on this candle, and so let's go to the next move. Alright, there we go. And yeah, we're going to probably, buy another position for an up, because as I mentioned, I do want to talk to you, well, to kind of establish that each signal, each indicator provides its own kind of signal, how should I say, signal, not stability, but signal historical relevance, right? Success rate, signal success rate. And yeah, I'm going to open here for the following minute already. And if we take a look in the past, right? If we take a look into the past, the next one should be 750. And it looks like Vortex is crossing again to the other side, right? Actually, this might sound even better because look, we got crossing of directional DIs, we got red bars, we got rounding, we got well, Vortex itself is also pointing that it could be, but it's a mushy thing right here. It's not very aggressive. But if we take a look here, right, well, yeah, essentially cross the zero line right here, and this continued to go upwards. But usually this kind of crossing is good, right? Boom, right there. So this is for a buy. Also it would have been okay for on the third step martingale here. Sell definitely. All right, buy on this one. Yeah, I could say sell kind of on this one. Also, you probably would have been in the money. A sell right here, yeah, in the money. So historical relevance here, right? We got a sell from parabolic. We got. Well, let's sell. Let's sell on this one for 750 as well. Let's see. So this one's going to be in 40 seconds. I think that because 1, 2, we got a third point contact right here, and it could be breaking out on the top side, which means that I'm probably going to still be very, very eager to be part of this, because if it pops on either side, it could pop for a while, right? So we do have two established. So 1, 2, 3, this looks like a breakout, but it seems, if we take it into a 3-minute time interval, this probably would look like a false breakout because it broke over and it came back under. And if it's breaking out right now, let's go to the next, right? Is it here? Nope, next minute. And let's buy. Though, again, not really, it's a premature thing. We should have waited. Should have waited. All right, but on this note, so whether we win this one or lose this one, we're still in the money for the day. We're definitely in the money for the month. So it's not something. Today, the whole point was to kind of give you a little bit of understanding with regards to Vortex, right? So it couldn't be easier indicated. It gives you signals once there is a crossing. So once the top, red line is on top, you sell. Once the green line is on top, you buy. So the width of the lines also matters, to a degree. So yeah, we won, right? So there was a break. It seems like there could be a breakout and continuing. So I got, but this one is a little bit on intuition. So not really something that I would count. So today we did pretty good, right? We got, again, a goofy situation happened. Should have been a $2 thing. But success rate is never going to be 100%. That's why we're actually what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 positions that we've opened today. 12 positions, out of which we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So exactly right down the freaking middle, 50-50. But with proper money management, as I mentioned, I did do some goofy things. That's why we're not really considering this as like a $18 win. This should have been a $2 win. This is a $2 win, and this is, being 18, once again, 18 bucks. So, oh, and the percentage dropped, on me. I didn't even realize the GBP JPY did us dirty. Alright, so screw that. We're not gonna be buying your shiznit. Alright, anyways, oh, there was a support level. Seems like there was a decent breakout right here. We got everything else showing yes, sell. But we also have, in this case, less than 20%, which means it's not a trending move. It's going to be dropping to a particular level of interest, and I would say that there's going to be somewhere probably here, not more, if it's going to continue to drop right now based on the sell signals overall. All right, my dear friends, my pretty face here. Super excited about next week. We're going to have some really good opportunities to put some good money in our balances. Pocket option link is below. Click, go through the verification, test out some of the things that we do in the demo account, in the daily free freaking tournament participations. Is an amazing platform. Play around with the buttons and without any kind of risk. And if there are any questions that should arise out of this, you reach out to me in our Telegram channel that's posted below as well. All of these videos are, kind of recorded live, right? So if you click on the pocket option link, you can look at the video, you can go back in history, and you will see this graph. You will see that this is not something pre-recorded, right? It's not as easy. So trading live has its own kind of pressures and certain complications where you open positions, for the sake of actually doing something on the video, even when something that it's a lower probability of success. But nevertheless, if you take a look, all of the videos that you and I are creating on weekday basis for about 2 months now, we have 100% success rate with macro statistics, which, as I mentioned, I keep feeling like I'm due for a market to do a goofy thing and, me losing one. Because 100% success rate is really tough thing to achieve steadily over a long period of time, but it's not something that's necessary for you to be in profit, stay stable over a long period of time. So, and we had only 2 days, day before yesterday, I believe, was one of the days, right? Day before yesterday was the second day that we were doing technical analysis, what we do today, and there was a slight dip because all of the markets were kind of moving sideways, but because of the stream and desire and the kind of the pressure to act now, you saw that even within these kind of like sideways moving market, where I probably would have said, I'll come back in a couple of hours and see if it's better and go make myself a cup of coffee, spend some time with my kids. We still did some positions and it turned out to be we're like $40 worth of minus. But yesterday we immediately wiped all of that clear away. So technically, if we take a look at our growth, there are 2 days, but our still process is very positive. Anyways, take a look, subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment. Let's make money for you. Let's make money. Let's talk about how you can do that safely and steadily over a long period of time. Have an awesome weekend, everybody, and I'll see you all on Monday.